is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We're in the building. It's another TWT weekend. Taylor, my bad. Tim, Will, TJ. I think Taylor's tomorrow. They keep mixing me up on this thing. Tim's been doing the weekend for, God, feels like forever. And now they want to switch it up, and he's here today. So glad to have him. So glad to have TJ. The weekend crew is back yet again. Tim, what's going on this fine Saturday?
Yeah, not much. This is definitely a pretty interesting slate. A lot of small things that mean a lot that could go down later on. But yeah, I've been watching a ton of the college tournament. I don't know about you guys, but I did not have a very good betting day on the first day of the tourney, but I had a really good betting day yesterday, and today's looking decent. So I've been doing a lot of sports betting on the college tournament.
Yeah, I haven't done much today because I had a funeral to attend earlier. Then we had something. I had an event I had to attend, and so I haven't done anything March Madness related today. Strictly just NBA, and I mean, typically, Tim, I'm following spring training baseball as well. It helps me get ready for the season. I haven't looked at spring, so I don't know what happened to spring training. I don't know how the pitchers did. So. And it's okay. Like I tell people all the time, it's perfectly normal to unplug. You don't have to do this every day. So today was my day to just kind of not even think about it until, preparing for NBA. TJ, our good friend in Saskatoon, what is going on?
Not too much. Ready to break down some NBA. I played some 4 sports today, and not one of them was NCAA basketball, surprisingly. But I ran some NASCAR, some NBA, some NHL, some MMA. So we got a fun little night ahead of us here. Playing as much of smaller dollars, because I did a big old withdrawal to plan some things with baby coming and things like that. But decided life takes precedent. But I'm trying to get as many DFS hours in as possible before baby comes, and I have to slow things down a little.
Absolutely. And Tim, I don't think I know this. Tim, do you have any kids?
I do. I have one daughter.
Okay, so Tim knows, I know, you know, we all have kids. Is this your first one, TJ?
It is. This is number 1, and due dates in 6 days, but. Okay. My prediction is Monday or Tuesday. I'm trying to manifest that because I don't have any shows on Monday or Tuesday. And so if it happens on Monday, I don't actually have to give anything up.
Good. Well, listen, man, what I will tell you is, and I'm sure Tim will attest to this, he's got one. So this is your first one. You're going to probably treat them with baby gloves the first couple months, maybe the first several months, until you realize, well, they can do some things, and they just start developing and looking at the daily changes, like how quickly they go from not sleeping through the night to sleeping through the night to crawling to walk. Like, this is all stuff that happens like within the first 18 months. It's so weird. So it's going to be interesting. I did have the pleasure. We'll hop right in, obviously, but I did have the pleasure of transitioning DFS full time. So my youngest daughter, she was actually home with me every day. So that was a really unique experience. Changing her, feeding her, putting her down for naps, just watching that whole evolution. And so, congratulations again. And hopefully mom and baby are healthy all the way through. And get ready for the ride, my friend. That's all I can tell you. All right, here we go. Tim, I guess we'll start with FanDuel. Just talking through some cash. As you and I discussed, I think you're only playing single entry today as well, and so am I. I'm only doing single entry, and I'm pretty sure TJ, you're going to MME today. Are you running?
I got 20 lineups, just 20.
Okay, so yeah, you'll get all angles today. Tim, take it away. FanDuel cash.
Yeah, so the very first, kind of like thing to talk about, I think, are the Boston Celtics. They ruled out Brown, Holiday, Porzingis. They currently have Tatum and Horford is questionable. We were talking pre-show, like, is Tatum going to play or not? And I'm thinking no, but I'm also thinking, why wouldn't they just rule him out when they ruled out everyone else? But either way, we're going to be playing Peyton Pritchard in cash at a very, very affordable price tag on both sites. He's 5,400 on FanDuel. He's projected for 34 minutes. He's point guard only. So that makes that really easy. You can fill him into one of your point guard spots and call that good. And then I'm going Derek White at 7,900. I'm not sure if I'm going to be putting him at point guard or shooting guard, but either way, he's going to be on my cash build. So Pritchard and White are definitely cash game plays today across the board. The other kind of point guard, shooting guard situation is a little bit trickier because you have FEV, you have Jalen Green, you have DeJounte Murray also. You've got Devin Booker. It's a pretty loaded position today. Like you'll find today, like usually we're looking to pay up at center, and that isn't really the case on this slate at all. So like you've got this kind of really, really solid mix of point guard, shooting guards that you can play. So I'm definitely going White, definitely going Pritchard. After that, I haven't completely made up my mind. Probably going Murray. But I'm not 100%. I probably am going to go Murray. And obviously I'd like to play Jalen Green too. His usage goes through the roof when Şengün and okay, so Al Horford is in. Did we get any other news?
No Tatum yet. Oh, Tatum will play too. He's in also.
All right, well, that doesn't really change anything for point guard, shooting guard. We're still playing Pritchard and White, so that's good. Yeah, I'm probably going Murray. But those are your options at point guard. Shooting guard, it's pretty much the same. You do throw in Agbaji at 4,600. He's shooting guard only. He's 4,600. I would only play him if you absolutely need a punt. So there isn't really super high end guys other than Murray that I'm really looking to play in cash. So I don't think I'm playing Agbaji in cash, but if you land there, he's in an unbelievable matchup against the Wizards. He's going to play 32 minutes. He's a really strong value. So he is definitely your punt option. I like Bogdan quite a bit at 6,400. He's certainly a cash game option also. We haven't gotten the Jordan Poole news yet, I do not believe. So that's something to keep an eye out on for later, because that could potentially open some things up too. And then moving over to small forward, you're definitely playing Sam Hauser. No question about it. 4,500 should start. Way too cheap. Definitely your cash game guy. And then you have some decisions to make. You can go Bogdan, who's also small forward eligible. You could go DeAndre Hunter at 5,700. Bruce Brown in a really, really great spot at 5,900. I think I prefer going the Bogdan route over the Bruce Brown and Hunter route, but it's really, really close. And then it's this Jason Tatum situation is super difficult for me because yes, he's in he should in theory be the guy, but I don't know if they're really going to push him. We haven't projected for 37 minutes. If he plays 37 minutes, I mean, he's going to should be a really great play. I don't know, if I'm going to play him in cash, but if you want to play him in single entry tournaments or large field tournaments, I think that's completely fine. I haven't completely made up my mind on what I want to do with Tatum because I just don't see the need for them to, really push him if this game gets out of hand. So I'm not really 100% convinced he's a cash game play. And then power forward, Bruno Fernando. We're going to be talking about him on both FanDuel and DK. He's going to be he's 4,200. Really good spot against the Hornets. He's by far one of the best values on the slate. I think Kelly Olynyk is viable also at 6,900. We talked about how much we love that Toronto-Washington matchup. So we want to get exposure in tournaments and in cash. So I think Kelly Olynyk is a really strong play. Then, Will and I were talking about Marvin Bagley too. He might be better just for GPPs, but I think he's viable in all formats. Denny Atvia, 7,500. He's a guy I really want to get to in tournaments. He might not quite qualify for cash games. And then Wemby. This is not a great matchup. But I mean, I know it's Wemby. He could put up 70 anytime he wants, but he's definitely not going to be in my cash game builds. And then Muhammadu Gee, 3,600. Only projected to play 16 minutes, but I think he's at least viable for GPPs. I was running a lot of sims before the show, and he was showing up in quite a bit of sims, at least on DK anyway. So he might be like a possible sneaky punt in GPPs. Then center's kind of weird today. Definitely not a lot of opportunity costs at center, which is very unusual. I think that you could go any of these kind of power forward center guys, like if you wanted to play 2 power forwards and then throw in Fernando at your center spot, that's fine. You could throw Olynyk in your center spot, and that's fine. I think I would save Horford and Nurkic for tournaments. I like Nick Richards quite a bit. I think he's cash game viable. And then I'm not going to play Capella in cash, but I could see if you land there, you could play Capella, but he's only projected for 26 minutes. He really needs to crush to really pay off that price tag.
Absolutely, Tim. I mean, I love the breakdown, and I'm with you for sure on this Boston situation. I'm glad we got that news early. I mean, what Derek White has done when either one of Tatum has been off the floor this season, and his usage bump and his contributions to this offense, it's been spectacular, Tim. And he's like one of the only main starters that seems to just never sit out. He's always playing. Where Tatum and Brown typically have a few more maintenance days. So love the call on him in addition to everything else you discussed. TJ, talking tournaments, let's hand it over to you. Not sure how spicy we're going to get today, but we'll figure that out as the spiceometer gets going here. TJ, over to you.
No crazy spicy plays from here at the guard position, but what I will say is I would want to keep an incredibly tight pool. Pardon me. Even on FanDuel, where, you know, I kept a 30-player pool today in my 20 lineups on DraftKings. It would probably be even tighter on FanDuel. I think Derek White, Jalen Green, Peyton Pritchard, DeJounte Murray, Keontae George, Colin Sexton. That's probably the entirety of my pool at the point guard position today. I don't think I go anywhere else. Like, there's just not that many people in great spots, not that many people with great price tags. Maybe I mix in a little Amen Thompson, but I think Keontae George, Colin Sexton, and then the main plays of White, Green, Pritchard, Murray, and I forgot to mention Devin Booker, but he would be in there as well. I don't think I need Fred VanVleet at that price tag on FanDuel. Maybe you keep him in the pool. He's a fine tournament play, but I personally don't think I'd be getting there. Shooting guard position, I don't want to play Dick or Agbaji, but they're just so cheap on FanDuel that they're absolutely in play. White, Murray, and Green are still the top 3 here. Colin Sexton and Keontae George, I just mentioned them, but you can play them at the shooting guard position as well. I don't think it's that crazy to get to Jalen Suggs. I didn't mention him at point guard, but I think he's somewhat viable in that first game. And that's really about it. Like, there's some guards in such strong positions that I don't really feel the need to get to many of these other ones.
Can I ask you a quick question at shooting guard real quick before you move on?
Yeah.
With all these guys out for Toronto, and I know we talked about the value guys, how do you feel about a guy like Gary Trent for tournaments where he's probably priced up a little bit more than he should, but with all these guys out, it feels like he might take 20-plus shots here. Just want to get your perspective on Gary Trent. I know he sat out last night. What are your thoughts on Trent in this matchup against Washington?
I think he's fine. I think he's totally fine. He's probably one of the first guys that starts losing minutes in a blowout of either direction, and both of these teams are so bad that it could go either direction. But I think Gary Trent is totally fine for tournaments. I worry a little bit about the ceiling because he's probably not going to do a whole lot else other than scoring. You're never going to get a ton of assists from him. Sometimes you do on rebounds, but it really just depends if they fall into his hands or not. It's just dependent on how many of his 3-pointers he's hitting. I think I would rather get to him a little bit on DraftKings where you have the 3-point bonus, but I think he's perfectly viable, just not one of my favorites.
Yeah, just want to throw that in there because he's only shooting guard eligible. We can't get him at small forward. So just want to throw that question your way. All right, my brother. Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
No, that was a very, very good call to interrupt on that one. In terms of small forward, I think Bruce Brown is fine. I think DeAndre Hunter is kind of bad chalk. I think a 35% owned DeAndre Hunter, that's not going to be for me in this spot. Hauser is by far the best play at the position for me at $4,500. That's who I'd want to get a ton of. Tatum, fine, but expensive. I'd be totally okay going underweight on that number in tournaments. Grady Dick, he's just so cheap. Corey Kispert, I think, is in a really interesting spot today, 5,400. And then Durant. Anytime Durant's below 10K, I'm totally fine taking as many shots on him as possible. Power forward position, Fernando is going to be chalky, and that's fine. But if you don't want to play him, or if you want to pair them together, I'm with Tim here. I think Guy is a phenomenal play. Two terrible tanking teams, strong point per minute guy, probably not going to get a ton of minutes, but he could smash in 15, 16, 17 minutes. And if that happens to be 20, 21, 22, because Olynyk gets in foul trouble or this game gets ugly in either direction, this could be a slate breaking type of guy today at near minimum price. So I really like that call. Avdia, Olynyk, perfectly fine with. Like I said, I want to get underweight on Hunter, fine with getting underweight on Tatum. And then I want to be using some of those other numbers to get up on Victor Wembanyama, up on, I don't know why I always say Wembanyama instead of Yama. I know it's Yama, but for some reason Yana always comes out. And then KD, I like in tournaments as well. Pretty terrible center position today. I think it could be very valuable to spend all the way up to a Wemby here at center. Use a Fernando and a Guy at power forward, and then use Wemby as a spend up. I don't hate that call one bit. I like Horford a lot more on FanDuel than I do DraftKings, just because he's cheaper over here on FanDuel. And then as a tournament play, I love Jock Landale. He's one of my favorite tournament plays on the slate. Only $5,500. 26 and 19 minutes last game. He's been playing like high teens to mid 20s without Şengün. This is a team, Houston going up against Utah, that has multiple bigs. I think he could get a decent amount of minutes today. And as we've seen, even in limited minutes, big ceiling. So I really love Landale for tournaments. I think he is in a smash spot at incredibly low ownership.
All right, TJ, sounds good. Appreciate all of the intel, walking us through position by position on FanDuel. We are going to hop over to DraftKings, and then Tim, let's maybe highlight if you have any differences there. Just kind of say, hey, maybe it's something I would do different on DraftKings and FanDuel. Let's highlight that and then walk it down however you like.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't a ton of differences really. You're still definitely playing Peyton Pritchard and Derek White in cash games, and there's no question about it. And then I would try to get to one of Murray, FEV, or Jalen Green. It's definitely going to be one of those three guys in your guard spot. Shooting guard, it's the same cast of characters. I think that Sam Hauser, he's not shooting guard eligible on FanDuel. He's shooting guard small forward on DK. So I mean, you could add him to your shooting guard pool on DraftKings. But I think I'd still recommend playing him at small forward. Devin Booker is super, super interesting. I don't think he quite fits for cash, but I think if you do play him in cash, it's not a horrible play. He's 8,900 against the Spurs. That's a really amazing matchup. And I think that's getting to some Suns in tournaments is really, really good idea today. And then we get to the small forward position. Tatum is in theory way too cheap. I mean, he's projecting as our top points per dollar small forward. So the projections are certainly going to tell you to play him in cash. I might play Tatum in cash, and then in my single entry, maybe swap him out for somebody else. That might be what I do today. I'm not positive. I just play two teams. Sometimes I do that when I don't feel super confident, or I feel like I'm giving up some ceiling. I might take Tatum out of my single entry team and just play him in cash. I loved Denny Avdia today. 7,400, I think, on DK. Yeah, 7,100, even better. Yeah, I really like him. I like Amen Thompson at 6,600. Agbaji at 4,800, I think, is a really good play. Grady Dick, if you need the savings, I think you could play him in cash. So not really that many different plays. Really, I mean, power forward again. It's Bruno Fernando definitely in cash games. I wouldn't go too far away from that if you're playing cash. And then center again. I mean, it's not a good position at all really today. I think it could be Capella. I might go to Olynyk. I'm not sure. And then Guy is center only on DK, where he's power forward only on FanDuel. So you do have to give up a center spot on DraftKings to play him, but center's really, it's not a strong position at all in the slate. So I think he is definitely viable, at least in GPPs, not in cash, but in GPPs, I think he is. And then one other player I wanted to mention real quick, one of my favorite tournament plays on the entire slate is Kevin Durant. He's down to 9,300, and that might be like the 1v1 kind of swap, or maybe I make a 2v2 swap. Get rid of Tatum and put Durant in, take the chance. I know the Suns are at full strength, but this is just such an outstanding matchup. The Spurs play super fast, and they're horrible defensively. And Durant's price just keeps falling and falling and falling. So I don't think he's going to get any kind of ownership really at all. So, I mean, we have projected for 5% on DK. So I might take that chance versus the 28% that we're showing for Tatum. So I might take that chance in a single entry.
Yeah, I just updated him, and his ownership actually went down even more. He's at 4.4% projected ownership now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tim, love the breakdown as usual. Once again, I think this Kevin Durant call is sneaky good. By the way, I just want to say something you mentioned, Tim, and I'm going to hand it over to TJ. This matchup against the Spurs is not to be overlooked. Like, I don't think anybody's really taking it as serious as they should, but this is a great matchup for this team. Hint, I do like Bradley Beal. I think I got him over. You can get him over 16.5 points, or something that's a little bit too low. I would be taking the over there. TJ,
I got him. I got Bradley Beal at more than 32.5 fantasy points today, so I'm on the exact same page with you as that one. For me today, like I said, a very, very tight player pool. 30 players in my pool. That's it for 20 lineups today. Getting to a ton of Pritchard, 80%, my highest owned player with Derek White right behind him. Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, DeJounte Murray. That's my core. Those are the guys I like the best. And then Cole Anthony, Keontae George, Fred VanVleet, and Jalen Suggs. That's kind of like my tier 3. I don't even want to say 2 because I view them quite heavily behind this next tier here. But Pritchard, White, Green, Thompson, Murray is the crew that I'm definitely looking to get here the most. Probably Amen Thompson, mostly at the forward position. Shooting guard, a lot of the same names, Derek White, Jalen Green, Cole Anthony, but then I'm throwing in Sam Hauser here as well. Bogdanovich, looking to get to a decent amount of. Colin Sexton, and then Grady Dick and Devin Booker are the last 2 players in my pool. Small forward position, Sam Hauser and Bogdanovich and Thompson, the 3 guys I'm getting to the most. Jason Tatum, number 4 on my list for me. I do actually think he's going to be a little higher than 25% owned today. I think he's probably going to be pushing 30%. Love Tim's Avdia call. I think he's in a great spot. And then just a pinch of Agbaji and Dick. It's a great matchup, but I'm still just not expecting them to have quite as strong of games as they had last night. Power forward, regrettably, Fernando, I'm getting to a ton of. Jason Tatum, Dylan Brooks, really not all that strong of a position. Olynyk and Durant are probably the 2 guys that I like here the most, actually. I just don't find them able to fit in that many lineups. It's a position that I find myself saving salary a lot. And then Miles Bridges, Paolo Banchero, Kyle Kuzma and Jabari Smith, actually. Smith's been playing terrible, but we know he has a ceiling. These guys, I want to get a sprinkle of because they do have massive ceilings as well. Center, Fernando, Landale, and Guy. These are the guys I'm getting to the most. It doesn't feel great, but I love Jock Landale in tournaments today. It's even cheaper on DraftKings. Kelly Olynyk as well, and then Wemby. If he's really only going to be 5%, I'll be 3 times the field.
Absolutely, TJ. TJ, and maybe that's not spicy, TJ. Let's not call that spicy because we know Wemby's upside. But I think because of the nature of the slate, people may not get to as much Wemby today. And if you're trying to go triple the field, then that might actually make him spicy, TJ. For what it's worth, even though Wemby isn't someone that we would typically consider that nobody's playing. At any rate, folks, ever want to take RG Premium for a test run? Now you can with the 3-day trial pass. Get access to every sport except NASCAR at the low price of $19.99. There's never been a better time to join the RG community. So find the 3-day trial link in the description below and sign up today. You also need to get involved with SimLabs. What do you know? SimLabs is the expert DFS lineup generation tool from RotoGrinders and Fantasy Labs, and now you can use it for NBA. With a few clicks, you can have hundreds of well-built correlated lineups for whatever contest you're playing. Running out of time before lock? Quickly build a set of lineups to fill out your entries. Want to see who might be falling under the radar? Use the tool to examine players the field might be sleeping on. Note Combo and NBA subscribers already have access to NBA SimLabs. And the props and pick'em package, folks. Don't forget about that. Also, that's our brand new props and pick'em package, but within the past few months. And you're going to get our expert RG projections. They're going to comb through the stats and provide you intel on the market inefficiencies. Using our model, you can easily see which lines are off, where to find them, and how likely the prop will hit based on our tool. You can also try out the props and pick'em package as a 3-day pass. Note, this will auto-renew at a monthly rate once the 3 days are up. Use the link in our description. I am going to hop into the questions, guys, and I have a question of my own as well. I'm going to start in the live stream chat. I know Tim has been taking some questions in the YouTube chat already, but I'm going to start in the live stream chat. I may be lagging a little bit. I promise that will catch up. Just hang in there with me. This one is coming from Omar456. Thoughts on Cole Anthony at 5K as a last piece in on FanDuel. Thoughts on Cole Anthony as a last piece in 5K on FanDuel. Let's go, TJ, on this one.
I'd rather get you him on DraftKings where he's cheaper. I don't hate it as a last piece, but it wouldn't be a target for me.
All right. This is from Steve OJ. DKGPP, thoughts on Cole Anthony as a value with Gary Harris out and limited guard options? You've already answered that pretty much, TJ. But specifically for DK, you're feeling a little bit better about it, obviously.
Yeah, don't mind him on DK at all.
Okay, and this is for FanDuel. Tim, over to you. Thoughts on Bryce Sensabaugh?
He's okay. He's not horrible value. I think that's decent.
Okay. And then this is another FanDuel from Omar as well. I think this is a good one. Who's more of a priority? And I know they're two different positions. Jalen Green or Jason Tatum? Who's more of a priority for you?
Yeah, it's a very, very good question. I think it's Jalen Green.
I agree.
Yep. Okay. TJ, this is for you. This is also a FanDuel question here. Olynyk or Poole? I think that's basically a salary swap. I think they're the same price on FanDuel today. Olynyk or Poole? If they're not, they're about $100 difference. Olynyk or Poole?
Olynyk,
okay.
For sure.
All right. This is from Aside 12. FanDuel Cash 2v2 Tim. Hunter Bogdanovich or Van Vliet for Fernando?
The second one.
Okay. All right. J3 said he needs a guard 4K or under to finish out an amazing DK single entry build. What's the highest point per dollar value there? Tim.
They want 4K or under?
For a guard, yep.
Oh, for a guard, okay.
Vit Krejci.
That would be the answer. That would be that's the best points per dollar player at that price level.
Okay. Yep. Here we go. TJ Blake 182 Rook, DeAndre Hunter or Taylor Hendricks in a large field DK tourney.
I don't love either of them. I guess of the two, probably Hunter.
All right, TJ, this is coming from Sean Toes. Either way, he said, sorry, jumped on late. Best GPP center on FanDuel with high upside. I need 50 fantasy points. Thanks. LOL.
I don't think you're going to get 50 fantasy points from him, but my favorite for GPPs is Jock Landale.
Okay. Gotcha. This is from Sugar Ray. Let's stick with you here, TJ. Barnes or Brooks on DraftKings? Barnes. I'm assuming Harrison Barnes or Brooks.
Yeah, it's Brooks.
Okay. That is it so far for the live stream chat. I'm hopping back over to YouTube, and I know Tim has been taking some of the YouTube questions. Eric Johnson, oh, that was for me. Chief, thoughts on Capella over 24.5 PRA? Yeah, I would take that against the Hornets for sure. He could have 15 rebounds today. That's definitely possible. I don't mind the 24.5 PRA. Probably going to play about 26 to 28 minutes. Gotta hope he's really, if he scores enough points, he'll get there with ease. But I definitely like that. All the way from South Carolina, our good friend Daryl George. This is for cash for you, Tim. This is on Yahoo. Wembanyama or Sabonis? I'm assuming you're going Wembanyama, but I don't want to speak for you.
Sabonis or Wemby? I would go Wemby. Yeah.
Okay. King Dash, Brooks or Hauser? FanDuel cash.
I'd go Hauser.
Okay. This is from Roger Jones. Gee and Avdia or Landale, Bruce Brown, DraftKings GPP, TJ.
Gee and Avdia.
Okay. This is from Brian Marshall. DK GPPs. Is Grant Williams or any Charlotte player viable, TJ?
I think he's viable. I saw Bobby has him tagged. I don't really like him, though.
Okay. Captain 99, this is for you, Tim. Sensabaugh or O'Neal for DK Cash?
Neither.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like either.
Okay. All right. No problem. Listen, those answers are fine with me. That means, hey, let's figure something else out. Maybe make a tweak. This is from OS here. Tim, let's stay with Tim on this one. Another really good one, I think. Tim, Tatum or find money for Wemby?
That one, I think you go with Tatum.
Okay. This is from Angel Amaro. He's saying White or Green. I'm assuming he's saying Derek White or Jalen Green. That's my assumption. Tim, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are play both of them, but it's so close between those two. I think it's so close. I think I'd go White there, but I'd play both.
Okay, no problem. I would too. I think I actually have both if I check my FanDuel bill, by the way. TJ, is Agbaji viable in a DraftKings GPP?
Yep.
Okay. King Dash, Hauser or Brooks, FanDuel cash. I'm assuming that's Hauser, guys. I think we played Hauser or Brooks.
King Dash, you got to pay attention. We just answered that question of yours a few minutes ago already.
Yeah. Here we go. This is from Jason. I'm back in the live stream chat. FanDuel single entry GPP. Is it too ambitious to forego guys like Tatum and White and play the cheaper Boston guys and use Murray and FVV as the only spend up? So I'm assuming he's talking about DeJounte Murray and, of course, FVV as the only spend up, foregoing Tatum and White.
If that's a cash question, I would not fade White in cash.
It's a single entry question, so
yeah, I don't think I'd fade White in single entry either. That's my only problem with that. So yeah.
Okay. This is from Steve OJ. DKGPP, is Poku usable?
Yes.
Okay.
It's gross, but he's usable. Like, he could easily outscore Fernando today. And if he does, that's good for your if he does, that's great for GPPs.
Okay. Okay, so NBA DFS says he keeps getting warned for asking about Grady private parts or Hauser for DK Cash. That's in the live stream chat. It keeps giving the bad word usage.
It's Hauser.
Yeah,
it's Hauser.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really trust Grady as much as the field usually. Yesterday was a different scenario, in my opinion, with Gary Trent sitting. But with Gary Trent back, I don't know. King Dash, Grayson Allen or Keegan Murray, FanDuel Cash, Tim.
Grayson Allen and who, Chief? Sorry.
Keegan Murray. Grayson Allen or Keegan Murray for FanDuel Cash.
I like that Suns matchup, so I'd go Allen.
Okay. This is from Omar 456. Is Trey Jones playable on FanDuel? Trey Jones. Tim.
I'm not getting there.
I don't think so.
Okay. We have run out of questions, gentlemen. But we are 2 minutes from lock, so we should be getting close to running out of questions at this point. I put my bill together. Here's my random question for you guys, because I know we really like. Well, I think I really like this Toronto-Washington matchup. Kyle Kuzma on FanDuel. He's someone I really like today. That's my possible substitute if I decide to fade Tatum for what it's worth. And I know we got a few minutes, but for me, I'm not playing anybody in the 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock game, so I just kind of locked in a potential build, and I'm going to go back and rework it. But how do you guys feel about that? If I'm going to maybe fade Tatum, I play Kuzma today, who's a little bit more expensive than I want to pay, but has a really good matchup if it comes to fruition.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Tatum's great. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing with Durant.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, folks. Oh, TJ, Hoosiers Tank Banner says, good luck with the baby. Good luck with
Thanks,
the baby.
Hoosiers.
Baby will be here soon. Serotonin Cowboy, no props. No, I didn't really have any props today, Cowboy. I've been out and about most of the day, so I decided to spend. When I got back home, I spent all my time on DFS and not the prop game today. I've been detached from props pretty much all day, so I'll be back in that realm tomorrow. So, and I will be on tomorrow. So if you want props tomorrow, I'll be right here giving out the information. We have hit lock. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. It was another TWT Saturday. We were bringing the SmackDown. And thanks once again. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Chief. That's Tim. That's TJ. We'll see you tomorrow.